Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys. Well, we're going to talk about today on this episode of Bullet Points is a specific opinion article that I found that I believe is completely perplexing. One of the big things that we are constantly debating in this country around the gun debate, around freedom debate, around safety in general, is the idea that if evil visits you with intent to do harm, answer that evil with force. Easier way to say it, you don't bring a knife to a gunfight, you bring a gun to a gunfight because if someone's going to do harm with a gun to a soft target, you're going to be there to stop them. The idea is you're defending what is important to you with an equal force. Okay? That's important to understand. The author of this opinion piece I'm going to go into is a personal experience that is really, really jarring to them. And I'm not mocking that. I'm not even making light of that. But what I am going after is the idea that because it shouldn't exist, because I don't want it to exist, therefore it doesn't exist, and I'm not going to protect myself from anything that shouldn't exist. The idea is cyclical at best, and it doesn't make sense, and it makes us all vulnerable. The simple fact is, evil exists in this world, and you have to either answer it or be a victim of it. That is as simple as it is. Okay? But let's dive in. I want to share this with you guys. It's in the description box, and let me know what you think, because this really speaks to a deeper seated psyche issue than an actual guns issue. Let's dive in. Opinion. A gun is a gun no matter who's holding it. Yeah, no kidding. Of course it is. Now, they're going in the angle of guns are bad. Even if anyone is holding them, it doesn't matter your moral proclivities. It doesn't matter your intent. Guns are bad because they're guns, and I don't believe in them, so therefore they're bad. That's the idea here. Let's dive in here. Let's see what they're talking about. It wasn't until I was 17 years old that I learned both of my parents had faced down the barrel of a gun. My mom and dad, both teachers, had a gun threat on their campus at a certain school in Arizona. At the time, my sister and I were in school 5 minutes away in lockdown, so this is obviously going towards something that's very emotionally jarring for them. It's a personal experience. Not making light of that, right? Just a moment of vulnerability. I've also had guns pointed directly at my face. I was in a situation where I was fishing at a friend's house who they said I could. A neighbor called the cops because they saw my truck in front of someone's house who was out of town. And then I had the cops pointing guns at me until they figured out the situation was not a threat. I've been there. I've also worked in gun ranges where AK-47 barrels were pointed straight at my head from people who didn't understand how they worked. I get it. It's not a fun experience all the time, I promise. But this is not the reaction that they're going with. But check this out, because this is really fascinating to me to understand the psyche here. It goes like this. A good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun. This argument posits that with more guns on campus, students and teachers alike will feel more safe at school. It is one that, to me, is inherently untrue. Here's the thing. It's not that it's a requirement for normalcy to have guns in every single avenue of life. However, if you are someone intent on doing harm with a firearm, a knife, a bomb, whatever violent means you want to do, or a car, you're not going to go to a police station or a point of resistance. You're not going to go to a military base or an armory. You're probably going to go somewhere where there's least amount of resistance. That is a basic human and animal trait. If you want to get something accomplished, the path of least resistance. It's also in electricity. This is a part of our entire universe. The idea that because you don't want it to exist, therefore it shouldn't exist, therefore I don't want to protect myself against something I don't believe in, is stupid at best. This person isn't. That idea is. It's akin to saying, I don't believe in seatbelts because people shouldn't be driving recklessly and they shouldn't be speeding. And therefore, since they shouldn't be and there's laws against it, I'm not going to wear my seatbelt because they shouldn't do it. How's that going to work out? It's not. But if you take that word seatbelt out and you put it with a gun, all of a sudden it's a different understanding. And that's really the point I'm driving home. According to a 2015 Gallup poll, 56% of Americans do believe a good guy with a gun would make them feel safer. That's a concealed carry person. Okay, yeah, a majority do. But now listen to how they counter from Gun Violence Archive data, which is manipulated, okay? But according to a new study published in May 2020, states with more permissive concealed carry laws have a 53.5% increase in mass shootings compared to a state with average concealed carry laws. Now that's going off Gun Violence Archive, which is all gang and criminal related. They don't even talk about the cause, they just talk about the fact that a gun fired, right? Also, just a little thing observationally, do you think maybe that instead of saying, well, there's 53.5% an increase in gun crime because of guns being available to protect yourself, do you think maybe there's 53.5% increase in gun crime so you have a gun to protect yourself? It's interesting. It's a very subtle nuance, but it's important. But Let's keep going and look at how they write this. They basically knock this off, okay? This is the reality of the good guy with a gun argument. At the end of the day, regardless of one's moral proclivities, a person with a gun is a person with a gun. Yeah, no kidding. For a generation of students like me, along with teachers, like my parents, that, quote, guy with a gun, regardless of who it is, has caused a lifetime of fear. Her entire argument is based on the fact that there was an incident where the police were called to protect her and her family. And she's not upset at the person who caused the threat. She's upset at the people with guns who came to save her. It makes no sense. It would be like if you're drowning in a river and you're upset at the person who brought a boat because a boat floats. It doesn't make sense. And that's why I brought this to you guys today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you tonight at the 9 p.m. segment. I'm Braden, signing out.